Hello, grade 7. How are you today? I hope you all are safe and well. Today we will study about fossils. This is a new lesson about fossils. So we will learn about what is fossil or what a fossil is, and we will describe how this fossil form. And we need to have an example, or we need to see example that show what we can learn from the fossil record. And we will see, or we will understand what is a fossil record. So open your books on page 70, grab your highlighters and follow me, please. Fossils. Learning from fossils. The pictures show 3 fossils. What can fossils tell us about our human past? The history of life on Earth, the origin of the Earth itself. Read on to find out. So what are these fossils? Fossils are something that remains or traces of animals or plants that lived for years, and they buried under the ground for years. So these are the fossils. So here we have 3 pictures of fossils. We have skeletons of dinosaurs, we have humans, and we have some kind of animals or sea creatures maybe. So what can these pictures tell us about the history of the Earth and the origin of the Earth, and how about the humans or animals in the past? So what are fossils and how are they made? Fossils are the remains or traces of a plant or animal that lived many years ago. They have been preserved by natural processes. Usually only the hard part of living things are fossilized. So we don't see the soft tissues like the skin or something this fossilized or preserved under the ground. We only can see the hard part of the body, which is the skeleton, the bones. Okay, the bones or the skeleton of the creatures. So this is the definition of the fossils. Here in these next lines or these pictures, we will see the formation of the fossils over years and years. Because we studied about the Earth, we studied about the layers of the Earth, we studied about the soil, and what can we have in soil. So now we can see how these creatures got buried inside and fossilized. Fossils form very rarely. Why they form very rarely? Because we all know that if animal is dead or plant is dead, another animals or any creatures will eat it. So if they got preserved under the ground for millions of years and like stay away from the other creatures, they could fossilize and turn into fossils over years and years. Normally, a dead animal is eaten or it rots away, but occasionally one is buried quickly by sand or mud. So if it got buried by sand or mud, perhaps on a river bed or under the sea, here the dead body is safe from animals that might eat it. A fossil may then form. This can happen in several ways. So here the picture can show us the fossil formation or the formation of these fossils. So you can follow step by step. First, here the animal is dead, and or not dead. Let's say that it's buried under the ground. If it's dead or stuck under the ground or in the sea, under the sea or in riverbeds because of anything. So if it's dead or buried, an animal dies, it falls onto mud or sand. So now the animal is dead here, the fish is dead. Then more mud or sand quickly buries the body. So here we have mud, we have here sand, and more layers of mud and sand buried this creature. Then bacteria slowly break down the soft part of the body. Its skeleton remains. So what do we call these bacteria? Of course, decomposers, because they are breaking down the soft parts. So they are breaking down the body and the skeleton remains. The mud or sand above and around the skeleton starts to become rock. Here around the skeleton and above it, it will start to become a rock, like you can see here. Then, as rock forms, underground water that is rich in dissolved minerals seeps into tiny spaces in the skeleton. So this water that full of minerals, that it can pass through these spaces in the skeleton. These minerals gradually replace the original minerals in the skeleton of the skeleton. A hard copy of the original skeleton is formed. So that's how the skeleton could survive. Without these minerals, it will be soft and it could be broken. So how can these fossils form with a hard form or hard copy? So these minerals that found in the water, they could get into the skeletons and replace the original ones, because the skeleton full of minerals, of course. So here they will calcify, like they will be strong and hard, and they will form in the skeleton. Many years later, soft rock around the fossil is eroded. The fossil is exposed. So because of this erosion or any factor, the rock will break and the fossil will be exposed. Or sometimes the scientists can dig and find fossils. So what are the name, or what do we call these people or workers or scientists that look for fossils or study fossils? We will see in the next page. What do fossils tell us about the history of life on Earth? So now we saw what we know the definition of the fossils, and we saw how the fossil can form. Now these fossils, we need to know what they can tell us about the history of the life on Earth. Paleontologists, these are the people that study fossils, here collect and study fossils. This is the definition of paleontologists. They use evidence from fossils to help piece together the history of life on Earth. Fossils tell us about the features of animals and plants that lived at different times and about their changing environments. All the evidence from fossils taken together is fossil record. So what is a fossil record? All the evidence from fossils taken together, that what do we call, or what we call fossil record. So here the paleontologists, they collect fossils, study them, and they need to piece them together, like they put them together because they are like pieces, and study the features of these animals, the plants, or that lived for many years or different times, and they can see the life or the history, the history of the Earth through these fossils. And they can record these evidence, and by taking them together in a fossil record. Oldest plants. So what they can know about oldest plants. In 2010, Claudia Rubinstein and her team found fossils from the earliest known land plants in Argentina. The plants lived more than 470 million years ago. The plants were a type of liverwort which have no roots or stem. So this is the plant called liverwort. They call it liverwort. It doesn't have any roots or stem. It's just like something like leaves, only leaves. This new this liverwort, they found that lived for more than 470 million years ago. This new find suggests that all land plants may have evolved from liverwort. So here, when they found this plant on Argentina, okay, they suggested that all the plants on this land, they were a kind or a type or evolved from liverworts, and then they developed and they formed new or different plants. Oldest animals. So this was about the plants. What about the animals? What they can know about the animals, or how much they can know about the animals? In 2012, a team of paleontologists discovered sponge-like fossils in Namibia. This is the Otavia antiqua or antica. This is like a sponge skeleton, and they call it like it's like sponge-like fossil because it looks like a sponge. And the fossils are the oldest record of animal life ever found. Scientists previously thought that animal life began between 600 and 650 million years ago. These fossils could be up to 760 million years old. So from this studying of this fossil, which is Otavia antica, this was the earliest record of animals' life ever found on Earth, and they suggested that these animals or this life of these fossils could be up to 760 million years old. We all know only about the dinosaurs, that they found dinosaurs like who lived for like millions of years. So what can we know about these dinosaurs? Some people, they said the dinosaurs are like fairy tales, and they are not they didn't live on Earth before. But some scientists or paleontologists, they found fossils that belongs to dinosaurs. So without fossils, we would not know about dinosaurs. As you can see in these two pictures, this is a dinosaur embryo, which is the baby of dinosaur, found in South Africa about 190 million years old. It was close to hatching when it was buried. So maybe the mother died and was buried under the ground for millions of years, and this baby was about to hatch, like get out of the egg. And here the fossiled dinosaur feces tell us what dinosaurs ate and about environments they lived in. By studying these waste products, by studying the materials inside it, or the ingredients inside it, or the minerals or the vitamins, minerals inside it, they can know what these dinosaurs ate and the environment that they lived in according to their feces. So this what these fossils can show us, and if we study them well and analyze these fossils. Now let's go to the summary of the lesson and see what do we have. Fossils. Conditions must be perfect for fossils to form, so without any predators or without any other creatures to eat these dead animals. The fossil record tell us about the history of life on Earth. By studying the fossils, the feces of the animals, or we can know the environments, what they were eating, and changing the environment. And also we can study the years that they lived in. And we can study we can discover or study the different times that they lived in by studying these fossils. Fossils are the remains or traces of a plant or animal that lived many years ago and preserved well from the other animals. In this case, they will form fossils. So this was about fossils. I hope you understood the lesson. If you have any question, write it down, and don't forget to write these notes in your notebooks, and don't forget the yellow box homework. Okay, I hope to see you soon, and we will meet in a new lesson. Bye bye.